Old Man here, and we're going to take a look at the settings for the DJI OSMO Action 3 camera, coming right up. Let's take a look at some of the functionality and setup of this wonderful little camera called the DJI Action 3 camera. And it's pretty simple to use. It has a very intuitive menu system that I'm going to show you. The menu system that comes up on the back here is going to be the same as on the front. It's just that this one's a little smaller on the front, but they both work the same. And we'll just go from there. So on this side, you have a compartment that pushes up and then flips down, and that is your battery and the SD card in here. I've got a 256 gig SD card. When I tried the 4K at 120 FPS, I ran it for about 5 minutes, then another 3 minutes after that, and it used up like 8 gigs. So it's going to use a lot of storage on that setting, but you're going to get a crystal clear picture. So that's why I went with the 256. It's a class 3 made for 4K, and pretty much you can find those anywhere: Target, Amazon, Best Buy, etc., etc., etc. Anywho, you've got the power button here, and then on this right here, if you flip that open, this is where the port is for the charger. That's a Type-C charger, and this thing charges very quickly. I had it down at like 30%, 40%, somewhere around there. Within 20 minutes, it was at 100%. So it charges very quickly when it's plugged into a wall outlet. And then here's the power button, of course. The power button that I noticed is a little tough to turn on. You really have to press onto it, and then it will come on a little bit. That's not really a downside, but you do have to press it and give it a little bit of force to turn that on. There's nothing on the other side here, so you can actually grab it like this and then press hard, and then what you'll notice here, it will turn on in the back. So watch this. Boom, and it lights up a little bit, and then there's your menu. Now it's kind of hard to see here, but we're going to try to position this so you can start seeing the menu items. A little hard to see, I see here. Oh, here we go. All right, bring it up in close. All right, top left corner, that's how much storage you have left. This right here is a review of your pictures. So if I press on this, it will show the last picture that was taken, or actually it will show the current view that you're in, getting ready to take. So actually, no, I'm mistaken. So this is the actual last video that I've taken. So that's a playback of the video, and then what you can do is scroll to go on to the next video, etc., etc., and then you can keep scrolling as you need to, and then this takes you back to your current view, which is pretty cool. You see how I did that? And then in the bottom left, you have a movie icon here. As you can see that. You press on that, and this is the type of settings that you can set, whether you want to take a photo. I'm going to switch over to photo mode, and then it'll go back after a second or two. Hit it again. This is digital, camera, and movie making, film, etc. Hit it again. I'm going to scroll over, and I can do slow motion. And then if I hit it again, I can do time lapse. And it kind of goes back pretty quick, but there's time lapse. Pretty neat. So once I hit the button, it'll take probably a photo every X amount of seconds or something, and then you can make a time-lapse video of it. It's set up right now for every 2 seconds. So I think last time I did my time-lapse on some of my mountain biking videos, I think I set it for 6 seconds because I was traveling on the road. So every 6 seconds for like 20 minutes, it would take a picture until I got to my destination, and then I was able to edit the video and make it look like a really cool time-lapse. So for this, we're going to go back to video mode. That's what I usually have these in. So that's that. If you press on the bottom here, these are all your settings for the resolution. So as you can see here, I'm at 1080p at 60 frames per second. That's really good enough for like YouTube videos and the web. and it decreases the file size too. I have played around with 2.7 at 6.9, 2.7 at 4.3, but as you can see, it goes all the way to 16.9 if you want, and then I can go all the way up to 120 FPS. That creates a very large file, but the camera has that capability. So, and you can see here the menu system is very intuitive and easy to use. It's just a matter of going left and right on everything. So I'm going to put this back to 1080, and then we'll be good with that. Top right here, you have this RS, and what that is the stabilization of the horizontal. So you have rock steady, and then you can go over to horizon balancing is, so you can twist it 45 degrees either way, and that will stay steady. And you got horizon steady, and you can go, I think you can go almost 180, I think, or maybe a little less than that, but it'll keep the horizon quite steady on here. For first person shooting, I'm going to put this back on rock steady. That's the recommendation. All right, and then to get back to your previous screen, scroll down from the top, and that'll take you there. Now what will happen is when you are on a menu system, you'll see a little bar on one of the sides here, and that will tell you which way you have to swipe. So if it's on the right side, you swipe the opposite way. If it's on the left, you swipe right, and that'll bring you back to the main screen. This only has a 4x zoom, so on the 1x here, you can press on that. See if we can get that to work here. There we go. Tap and adjust digital zoom. So I'm going to tap it, and now what I can do here is this takes a little bit of practice, but you can zoom in here and see how it goes. There we go. Got it going on. It zooms in. Again, it's only 4 times, but if you're doing close-up work, you're not really going to use that too much for zooming in for first person. And then over here, this is your field of view. You've got wide, and you've got, I think if I press this again, you can confirm that. And then I don't remember how to get to the other ones, but anyways, I do remember, it's on the menu system, I think. But this shows you your point of view. I've got it on wide view for video and for pictures, so I can see everything that I'm pointing at, and that seems to work pretty good. And again, to get out of here, just swipe down and it'll take you back. And then your battery level is up here on the top right, so let's take a look at that. It gives you 100%. I just charged it, so we're in good shape there. If you want to get to the main menu systems, swipe from the top down. Yep. And this will give you all your functionality for your menu systems. This first one here is a custom settings for different people that might want to use your camera, or if you have different situations or different scenarios that you want to set up, you can set up custom settings. Maybe for close-up shooting, you want to use a wide angle, but maybe if you're doing a vlogging or live podcast, maybe you do more like a narrow setting, like the regular point of view where you're just focusing on your face. So you've got some ideas there to allow you to do some custom settings. The QS here, that is for quick switch. So you can set up menu systems and quick switch between them. This allows you to set that up. You can do it by voice, you can do screen settings, and there's a bunch of different settings here you can set for that. I don't really use that. I'm only using a couple of functions on here, so there's no reason for me to set up a quick set. All right, let's continue on here. This tells you if you want the brightness set up. I've got it at 35%. If I'm hunting or anything like that, I keep the brightness low because I don't want my blind area to shine up where I'm sitting. So I just keep that low. It also preserves the battery a little bit, so that helps out there. And then we'll just go back here. This is your actual settings for everything else here. And sorry if you can't read this with the blurriness here, but we'll do our best here. But these are all the settings here that you can set up. Your wireless connection, what network you want to go to, what the compression is. I'm just doing the H.264. There's another one on here that has a different type of compression rate, and I'm not using that. Sounds I have muted because I don't want to hear the camera turn on when I'm out in the blind or want in a quiet space. The sound is quite loud when you first turn this on. It makes this very loud beep, and you can imagine if you're sitting in a blind hunting somewhere and your deer's about at your feet or whatever, and the sound goes off because you're turning your camera on, not a good scene. And that's just for really for anything. You just cuts down on the sound. And then there's a lot, you can show the grid on your screen. There's just a lot of different functions and features that you can have here. There's a naming management here, as you can see, that allows you to change the naming convention of the file. When you're recording, it will never turn off. I have the auto power off for 5 minutes. That seems to be a pretty good sweet spot for me. You can switch to never, I think 15 minutes, and a couple of other settings. And then, what's that last one? LED. Don't know what that is because I just turned it on, and probably has to do with the lighting on here somewhere. I don't see like a flashlight or anything. Maybe it's a flash. Who knows? Anyways, that is the setting for that. This one allows you to, I believe, flip between the screens. This locks the screen if you want. You have voice command, and then on the bottom here, you have a front screen on and off. So if I flip this over and I touch this screen, it will have me swipe up to turn the screen on, then it goes away really quick. What I'm finding with this, it's a little bit tricky to get this to work in the first try. Watch me get it in the first try, but let me show you what I mean. See, I have to go over it a couple of times, and you have to be almost exact. There you go. Now it's on the front screen, and you can see me talking into my phone, peekaboo, and recording this, and now the back screen is off. If I want to switch to the back screen, just flip this again, and scroll up until the screen comes in. Might have to do it a couple of times. So this may need to be a little work, but since most of the time I'm using the back screen, this shouldn't be too much of an issue. So let's just keep doing this. There we go. Almost. There it goes. So you can see there, that's a little finicky. However, I have used the front a few times. I've had it on my stick and recording myself in there. It's really good for vlogging if you're walking somewhere or even riding a bike. I mean, it's pretty good the way it works. So that's not too bad. And that really completes the menu system here. Very easy to use, very intuitive menu system like I mentioned. And again, really good camera, really happy with it. And if you decide to get one, you'll enjoy it. So with that, we're going to close this one out, call it a day, and hope you got some value out of this. So until next time, peace out.